Hi guys, welcome. Dana here from the Magic Junk Drawer with part 2, second video in the astrology series. So we left off with, in the last video, we went over houses 1 through 6. So this video we're going to go from 7 to 12. Each house has an opposite. So starting with the first house, opposite the first house is the 7th house. 7th house is the house of partnerships and marriage, which is opposite the house of self. Now it makes sense. This is me, and this is who I am with other people. So the 7th house is like the house of marriage, right? But it also could be business partners. It also could be if you owned a piece of property with your brother, or if you owned a piece of property with your in-laws, whatever it is, that's 7th house. Business relationships and marriage. A lot of times you can look to the 7th house to tell you what kind of a marriage or married potential partner could be in the 7th house. Sometimes. We'll get to that another point. But that's the house of marriage, opposite the first house. Second house is the house of earned income, material possessions. Opposite of that is the 8th house, which is other people's money. It's also inheritance. It's like if you needed to go for a mortgage or you needed a bank loan, 8th house, other people's money. Credit cards, bank loans. It's also sex, rebirth. Sex, birth, rebirth. And inheritance. Okay. Oh, okay. I left out the 7th house. So the 7th house is ruled by Libra, and the planet that rules Libra is Venus. 8th house rules Scorpio, and it's ruled by Pluto and Mars. 8th house. So it makes sense when you look at the houses. It goes, the ruler of their house makes sense. Okay, so Scorpio rules the 8th house. Scorpio is mysterious, sexual, passionate. They dig very deep. That's the 8th house. So if you get confused and you're like, Jesus, I don't know what the fuck the 3rd house is, go through the zodiac, right? First house, Aries. Second house is Taurus. 3rd house is Gemini. What's Gemini? Well, Gemini is the twins. It's about brothers and sisters. It's about siblings. It's about neighbors. It's about schoolmates, right? So that's how that's an easy way to remember it. You know, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Pisces is the 12th. So Pisces rules the 12th house. Easy. So the 9th house is, when we're kids, it's like, it's school. But as you get older, it starts to be a little bit more higher education. It also could be foreign travel. Foreign travel, it's ruled Sagittarius. The planet that rules it is Jupiter. So this 9th house could be traveling to foreign lands. It could be anything that has to do with like philosophy. It's higher education. It could be going back to school, or like you could be going back to college later in life. It would be found in the 9th house. The 10th house is the house of social status, and Capricorn rules that house of social status. That's like your place in society. So sometimes, like, you know how I'll read somebody and I'll say, oh, this person is prominent in society. Could be like Steve the Butcher, like that. Like that's your place in society. Like your place in society. Like people knew me from working at the A&P. That was my place in society. It's changed because A&P is not there anymore. You know, things are changing. They're constantly changing and evolving. So things change according to the solar return chart for you for that year, which can move something out and bring something new in. But the 10th house is house of social status. Sometimes it also could have a lot to do with marriage, because your status changes when you go from being single to married. So when you're looking at marriage, it's like 5th house, 7th house, 10th house kind of a thing. 11th house is the house of friends. And you know who rules that? Aquarius. Who's the friendliest of the zodiac? The friend is the Aquarius. And who rules that is Uranus. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned that Saturn rules Capricorn. But Saturn rules Capricorn. Uranus rules Aquarius. So you look to the 11th house to friends. People that have strong Aquarius will be very friendly, or their friends will be very important to them. 12th house is the house of psychic abilities and mysteries and hidden secrets. And that is ruled by Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. So every house has an equal and opposite, right? So we start with the first house, house of self, opposite house of marriage. House of number 2, house of earned income, opposite 8th house, other people's money. 3, third house is siblings and neighbors, opposite foreign travel. So neighbors versus foreign. 4th house is the house of home. 4th house is opposite the 10th house, which is social status. So it's what I am in the home versus what I am in society. 5th house is the house of creativity, children, and love, which is opposite the house of friends, right? So it's like the true love opposite the house of friendship. 6th house is career and health, which is opposite mysteries, like mysteries, psychic abilities, that kind of stuff. So as you go through your chart, first thing, learn what the houses mean. Once you have that down, and like I said, if you forget it, you go through the zodiac. First house, Aries. Second house, Pisces. Second house is Taurus. Third house, Gemini. Fourth house, Cancer, because that's how the zodiac goes. So each sign rules a piece of the chart. And the planet that rules that sign rules the house. So house of self, ruled by Aries. Me, 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 which is what Aries is. Aries is very much the first sign of the zodiac. They're a very young soul. They're kind of look at themselves and make themselves most important, typical of Aries. They're ruled by Mars. Mars is the god of war. They tend to be a fiery kind of person, and that's where we start in life, at the first house. We all start off as infants, where it's all about me, 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 but we grow past it. So now we got the houses in place. Next we'll go through, I'll quickly go through each sign with just points as to what each sign, their characteristics are. So you get to know the signs or the characteristics of the signs if you don't already. All right, stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.